I think let's end off on this topic right here. Thank you, Rob, for the super chat. I know it's hard to answer this question, so I'll give you guys the floor. We'll start with you, Dom. What's your price target for the end of 2025?
End of year, and we're already at 72.
It's tough, right? It's not an easy question.
I mean, unless something wild happens, I think we see a severe pullback with the whole SARS thing, unless people adjust their estimates last minute and everyone's like, oh, it's okay, we don't care. So I could see us, though, rebounding after that overreaction and probably get, say, $90, maybe 95.
That's fair. I think that I'm kind of in the same range. I think 100 would be very nice by the end of the year, but it's very ambitious given where we are right now.
Right. Yeah.
It's not the same thing as it was last year when we were at 16. And I think everyone, and I would be happy if we were holding 72 till the end of the year and just growing into it. That's it.
Yes.
Getting there. Amir, your thoughts on price target if you have any?
Yeah, I have no clue. I never look at the specific price targets. I just look at what do I believe, like audience of one, myself, what do I believe this company is worth? And if it's below that, I buy and then just hold forever. So I think the company is about worth, as of today, right now, to me, it's around $60. And we'll see after the Q4 earnings. But yeah, I don't have any specific price targets. It's not the way I invest. So sorry, I have no predictions there. Sorry to disappoint.
Matt, your thoughts?
I think just quick math here: $3.5 billion in revenue next year. Looking at 40 to 50x kind of price to sales. I know that's still very rich, but I think it also depends on where people's sentiment is on the company. I think the pendulum has swung a little bit too much into Palantir's favor, and we're overpriced here at the moment. But I could still see a reasonable place where we end the year at 60 to 65. But I personally think, just based off of quick numbers, the stock should be worth between $45 and $50. But it really just depends on sentiment and where the rest of the market is.
Let me be clear on that. The 90 to 95 is not based on true valuation. It would be on sentiment, because I do think one thing we will see is by the end of 2025, the world will be even more surprised at how capable AI is and the outcomes that AI will drive in our daily lives. I think we will continue to see breakthroughs that will drive sentiment regardless of valuation for a lot of companies. That's just my hunch.
Yeah, I agree. I 1000% agree. I think, look, this is hard, dude. When it was at 16 in January last year, I think it was easier to say, well, they'll grow and, they could be 30 by the end of the year, 25, 40. But now that they've run up so much, I don't even think management has an understanding of where the stock could be, unless they come out with a blowout NVIDIA quarter guiding 50% growth, something like that. So it'll be about sentiment, but it'll also be about guidance. And it'll also be about the macro, right? Are we in a good macro environment for growth stocks?
Yeah, remember the Carp quote when it was like in the single digits. I remember they asked him about the stock price, and he said, well, I didn't feel that good at 40. I didn't feel that we were as good as 40, and I don't feel that we're as bad as like 8 or whatever the stock was trading in the single digits back when the stock was really low. Perhaps they're feeling something the same, because the SARS actually give us a hint. I mean, there are some that vest depending on market conditions, which is like they are immediately unlocked after $50 per share, which is this $120 million expense that we're talking about. But they also have time vested SARS, which unlock after a certain period of time, as long as the stock is above a specific price. So they put those at 5 years out, and they reached them like within a year. So I mean, I think even management didn't expect this kind of rise. So yeah, it should give you some perspective there.